what's Missin Curfew. It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
The lads.
Up dog, my man. How we doing, brother?
Things are good, bud. Things are good. I'm excited to be in Van City with you. I got a nice hot green tea.
What do you got there? Green tea?
I got a green tea, bud. I've already had 2 coffees. I've been up. I'm just feeling fresh.
You look great.
I mean, it's
A couple texts from you this morning.
You did, yeah.
I want breakfast, which was a nice gesture from you.
Of course, yeah.
First thing that came to my mind is a couple things. I love you, I thought, and I went, fuck off, I'm sure I'm not quite ready to get up yet. But you're like...
I knew there was both feelings coming. I did. I was up at about 8 o'clock, got a call from the kids. You know, it's nice to wake up when Beckham's like, hockey. You know, because we FaceTime from the game last night, which was an amazing game. We'll talk about that. But it was nice. I got a wake-up call at 8, and then I'm like, fuck, I can't go back to bed. I know Princey's already up, getting the pro that he is. He's getting ready to do our show. Our friends at Kits, Eyewear, they got this place all dialed in for us. So it's been an amazing morning, buddy. And then I'm going to golf after this. So what else is
What else is
there to do in Van City?
The Updog's got a full schedule. What else is new? But I do love how much your son, Beckham, who's going to be a stud, how much he loves hockey. He loves it. He loves it.
Stands up for the anthem. Looks at it. Always win one-timers, like a slap shot. Every time a guy takes a putt, like a good hard shot, he goes, slap shot.
Yeah.
Just a pro.
Yeah, he's a great-looking kid. Listen, so here we are at Kits Iowa, like the Updog said, in Kits and Walnut Beach. And directly across the street, Updog, we talk a lot about Vancouver. The establishment local is where I would go for after bowling and the Blackhawks beat me out. Right there, I would sit there for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
3 days. But what a beautiful city. The weather's been unbelievable. I just want to give a shout out to your boy who hooked it up. Jane was his name. This guy is such a great Canadian kid, man. So you're waiting for your golf clubs to come out or whatever, and I get out there, you're like, Updog, Jane's he's in a blue truck, and I see it, and it's pulling up, and there it is with the Missin Curfew license plate on, and he's just a great Canadian kid, and it was like, feels good to be holding.
Yeah. So shout out, he brought us a nice bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, he did.
It's what was it, barrel whiskey? You're a whiskey guy. What was that? Was surprised because Jade,
good to make old fashions.
Jaden Ruppel, he's the nephew of a close friend of mine, Terry Ruppel. Shout out to Terry and Michelle. They were my neighbors, me and Tutu's neighbors back in Kelowna back in the day. Great family. And they have West Coast Automotive. So shout out to them for delivering us a new Ford Lightning electric truck. We had some feedback on our mentions on X. I think people were a little upset it wasn't a diesel.
Yeah, one beauty said. One beauty said.
That's a typical Alberta guy.
Yeah, but this guy was from Fort Mac for
100%.
Sure, like whatever. He's like, hey, tell Upshaw, nice truck. Trade in the electric for a fucking diesel, though.
I mean, but a classy, it's such a Terry Ruppel class act. He shows up, drops it off at the airport, picks us up at a customs. I mean, we were rocking my morning jacket coming up. What is it, Seymour Street? What's the street humming downtown? The Monkey Street? Yeah, whatever it is. Fuck, we're just buzzing.
Yeah.
And we pull up to valet, and I mean, it's a head turner.
It was great. It was a
head turner.
So thank you for setting that up. We could have sold a couple of them waiting for your golf clubs, by the way. One the one guy's like, if I plug that in, how many miles I get? And Jaden was suit on. Guy was a pro, so I just wanted to say thank you to them, Updog. And yeah, let's touch right here. Here we are, Kits Eyewear. We finally got to hang out with our boy Roger Hardy last night. Hooked us up with some unbelievable seats. But like you said, we'll be here tomorrow between 12 and 2, hanging out, enjoying it. I'm wearing them right now, Ups. And when I think of Kits Eyewear, you look online and stuff, right? You're like, oh, the shades look pretty cool or whatever. And then sometimes you buy stuff, you're like, it sucks. Boys, from a guy who's lost how many pairs of shades? 1 million?
I lose everything. I've already lost an AirPod this morning.
Yeah.
I'm going to sue Apple, by the way. What a joke. I lose one AirPod a week. It's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I feel for my boy. But listen, these shades do not feel like $28 shades. I wear them. Matt Miller loves them.
Yeah, they're great spec.
Yeah, I bought literally 10 pairs of the black ones like this. Anyways, we're going to be here. The Updog has set it up. With Katie at Kits. Roger, we met him last night. If you're in the area, come on down tomorrow. We're hanging out. Great coffee.
Look at
the weather.
Yeah. By the way, anyone who is either in Vancouver, you know where we are. We're down here right on Kitsilano Beach. This is prime time. This is a prime real estate in Newport. Well, in Newport Beach, Jesus. This is prime real estate in North America right here. We're on like the coolest hipster street with the nicest beach in Vancouver. And
this support open.
And by the way, no. It's just a killer little shop. 12 to 2. We'll be here like today. When you listen to our podcast Friday, and we'll be from here. And then we're going right to Greta, and then we're going right to the game, and I'm watching my oil come back in this series. So anyway, we'll love to see you. We got a promo code for these Specs 2 boys. It's Curfew, so check that out online. These guys do massive online stuff, but if you're in the area, come down here and say what's up to the boys.
Yeah, I'm trying to check it out, fellas. Kits Eyewear's unbelievable. Yeah, let's go right into let's go to this up. So last night, obviously, we go to the game, and you know how much I love to be a Canuck, and coming back, it was like I was concerned. You never know, right?
Welcome back.
I don't know.
Members or what kind of shenanigans?
Yeah, you never know. I mean, there was a lot of good stuff that happened in my career. There was bad stuff, but
what kind of skeletons you run into?
Exactly. I just wanted to say to the fans of the Vancouver Canucks and people last night at Rogers Arena, thank you. I was blown away. Obviously, Up Dog, they were loving you too. They loved Missin Curfew, but everywhere I was going, they were, it was this and that. And obviously, with the way they came back, which we'll get into, it was unbelievable. But I just want to say thank you to the Canucks fans. I was blown away. I don't know if I deserve that much love, Up Dog, but I'll take it. It was unbelievable to see these people. They were drunk. They were happy. They were loving Missin Curfew. So I just want to say thanks to them, man. It was truly a cool experience for me and yourself, right?
Yeah, no, it was great. Listen, it started off with Cactus Club, right? Staple went and caught the game at Cactus Club, and then we saw the little kid from Kamloops. What was his name?
Nate Dogg.
Yeah, Nate Dogg. Kid drove in from fucking Coquitlam, I think. He heard Princey and you guys do the story. He drove in. I'm outside talking to Billy Quinn on the phone, and he comes in and he's looking at me. He's like, holy shit. And he can tell him on the phone. He's like, oh, fuck, you're on a call. Okay, I'm going to go in and see Obes and Princey. So he was all fired up.
Yeah, he came in. He's like, so the Up Dog. I think he's on a business call.
He was fired up. So then we walked in the game, and that's where the love. I could see it already in the fans. They're like, oh, Brian, they loved you. He had on Missin Curfew jacket. It was awesome. But I'll tell you what, the energy in the building, you'd think when they go down a goal that it's going to take a little bit out of the fans and whatnot. It still had a buzz, but we were going up in between periods to have cocktails, and the guys were still like, I love how everyone, and this is a shout out to DraftKings, but everyone's like on their phones trying to see what the live lines are. Yeah. They're just like, you could tell they were still engaged in the game. Yeah, they were like, they're like, I gotta hedge, I gotta double down. Hey, what do you think, Up Dog? What's gonna happen next period? I'm like, well, good odds on them coming back, but I don't know if it's gonna happen.
The sit beside you last time was great. You're like, all right, there's the first period over. Yeah, all right, I got me over. All right, I need Drysdale 4 more shots, and I need this beer guy to sling 4 more beers and I hit the over on that.
No, it was fantastic. Then just to do the stomping grounds. Listen, we ended up at Banter Room, and then we end up at West Oak, the old staple. We end up at Pierre's staple. Then we go to the Roxy Roller, of course. We had to stop in.
Thank you for going to
the Roxy.
Thank you for going to Roxy.
Then you saw your boy Spoonsy. Let's talk about
Spoons. Thanks, John. Wayne, thank you. I can't believe I didn't put Spoons there. So, fellas, there's this guy. If you're from Vancouver, you know Spoons is a homeless guy that plays spoons out front of the fucking Roxy. Like he plays this spoon.
His old Stompin' Tom Collins.
Yeah, and what is it? 2024. I play here in 2009, 2010. So it's been 14 years. And I'm not lying, I'm dog. Through the process of COVID, whatever, you're bored, you think about stuff. I'm like, probably poor Spoons. He got taken down. COVID probably got him. I'm like, he's a big guy. If we don't come out of the Roxy, and I look up, and there he is, Spoons. He's like, I'm like, Spoons, is that you, fella? He's like, how old are you now? 76, he said. And in typical Spoons fashion, he said, how about a little cash? I got you, but
50.
I can't believe he's still alive.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. Maybe it's his body double. Maybe it's a new guy. Maybe it's a new Spoons. He just acted like the old one. Because that's impressive. And he still had some energy. And I'm waiting in the car, and I see this interaction with you. And I get out, and of course I videotape it. Prince out to give you the videotape. But the cab driver was like, oh, yeah, that's Spoonsy. And you're like, fuck Spoonsy. You're still fucking going, bud. I thought COVID would have taken it down. And then Spoons, no. but he recognized you, which is
Yeah. And then he actually took a shot at the people that got the vaccine. I'm like, hey, Kobe didn't take it. I was like, I didn't get that vaccine. Like, I'm like, So anyways, man, it was up here. When I saw him, I was blown away. Thank you for going to Roxy. We met a couple of good young beauties there. But to the Canucks fans, I just want to say thank you again, man. That was blown away. We'll see you for Game 2. Updog real quick. Sheldon Keefe got fired today. We joked about it this week on Missin Curfew. Has he not been fired yet? You saw a little video that came out. Listen, I think this is good for both guys. I think for Sheldon, it was a heck of a run in Toronto. He'll get other opportunities. I think this is the first step in a couple things that we're going to see moving forward here, right?
Yeah. Watched the video this morning, having breakfast. Classy video. I think he was a guy that was probably appreciated by his players. You could tell for the most part he got the best out of these guys. Day in, day out, they looked like they worked hard. They got in the playoffs, made it out of the first round, thanks to our boy Fact Daddy last year. But I think it was a little underperformance. There was no question that he was on the hot seat. To me, I think this has now an open seat, right? There's going to be a lot of talk on who the new guy is going to be. So there's going to be a lot of new news. A couple guys in the mix. Definitely got to be Craig Berube, Chief.
I was just going to say.
Chief's got to be a guy that's going to get, a look. You have Woodcroft that, who knows, but he's probably in talks to do that. I'm sure.
Quenneville.
Joel Quenneville would be great.
Yeah.
It's been interesting. It'll be interesting, man. Like you want a guy that obviously has been there, that has won, that these young guys are gonna want to play for.
Yeah.
I love Chief. I love Q. I think those two are great.
Those two would be at the top of my list, and I would lean towards Chief just because I think they need a little. Not that Q's not intimidating, but I think they need a little Craig Berube to come in and say, here we are.
I think they need a whole fresh. Look. They need a fresh look, and it's going to start with their head coach. It's going to start with a new, some moves in the summer. Hopefully making a splash in free agency, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah. And to Sheldon Keefe, I think he's a good coach. I don't know him personally. He'll bounce back on his feet, but I think it was time to move on. So I think that's the first, like we said, of many things that's going to come. Last but not least, here before we get into our Game 1 breakdown. Our boy Chucky, Matty Tkachuk, and Pastrnak. We left Cactus Club at the end of the second because we had to get over there. We get in for the first, and you're like, oh, I'm sure there's a 5-on-5 brawl, there's 2-fight fights, and this and that. You go first on the situation.
I was going full Princey. I had the Twitter going. I'm on X, and this is middle of the first period. I'm going, Obes.
Yeah.
6-1. We hit our Panthers bet. Thank God, because we got back in the mix. It's a good way to start the trip. Take the Panthers. And then I'm like, buddy, it's full melee. I just, my score app is like, brawl. And I'm like, wow, it says a star-studded brawl. I go, who's this? And as soon as I see it, the first video I seen, and all of you who watched it, and if you didn't, it's all time, but it's basically two incredible players, two leaders on their team, Pastrnak, Matty Tkachuk, basically looking at each other, saying, yes, let's go. And the moment I loved is Monty, the coach, looking at Pasta on the bench, looking back at him, basically going, I want to fight him.
Yeah.
Monty's like, it's all you, go for it. That's like, right now, that is what playoff hockey is all about. That is what two guys who know the history of their, we all know what happened last year in Game 7. We all know that Florida went on to make to the Stanley Cup Finals. It was Boston's most perfect year, a letdown in the first round. 1-1. There was an embarrassment that went on Game 1. Florida got worked in their building. Boston, they had a great response, and then Boston said, hey, 6-1, let's start fucking throwing it around, which I love. Yeah. That's playoff hockey.
It's playoff hockey, and it makes me think that they might have listened to Missin Curfew because I called out the Panthers for maybe not being tough enough in Game 1. And they proved me wrong in that regards. And the other thing I thought, that's a great take by you. And the other thing I thought, I hate to pour on these guys because it's tea times for these boys, but Matthews, Nylander, Tavares, Marner. If you're watching, they're probably not watching, but when you see Pastrnak and Tkachuk give their balls a tug like that and square off and fight, are you sitting at home even more being like, did I give everything I had out?
I know.
Did I give everything I know. Out there?
Like, look at Vinny Lecavalier back in the day. Look at Joe Thornton. Look at
Getzey fighting Joe.
Exactly. Look at Getzey. Look at Mike Richards. Look at all the list goes on and on of guys that that realize what Braden Shen, realize playoff hockey, what it means to your group of guys when you say, okay, we're beat tonight, but we're fucking not beat.
Yeah.
We're going to go out and we're going to fight our way. We're going to prove that we're not backing down. 60-minute games in the playoffs are broke up by just these little segments. Now, you lose one, you still have a chance to make an impression in the series.
Yeah.
You can still go out and chirp a guy and fucking run the goalie, you can.
That's almost one of the most fun parts of playoffs. It sucks getting blown out, but if you're down 6-1, you're like, I'm going to take liberties on these guys because I know I'm going to play them again tomorrow night.
I couldn't agree more.
I always say to you up here on our pod that come playoff time, you got to get uncomfortable. And that was an uncomfortable situation with Pastrnak. It's probably his first fight ever, right? I can't imagine he's been in his
great. He did great.
He did unbelievable. Chucky, good on you, fella. But to Pasta, man, I've always loved this kid, obviously because of his game, his style, his energy. But man, I could not give this guy any more credit. The fight was whatever, but he did it. He stepped up. Your boy Monty was unbelievable. Paul Maurice loved it. Fans loved it. Playoff hockey.
I wonder if this kind of goes back to maybe this little mojo that Pasta has right now. He has a great Game 7 after getting called out. He comes in. He's a big reason why Boston got back in that game after being down 1 in Game 1 and come back to win that game in great fashion. And then, he's like, you know what? I was called out. This is my team. This is me and Marshy's team. I got called out. Now I know I'm this guy. I know what I do right now can affect my group for the next 5 games.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out and fucking put this on my shoulder. I think it's a great, it's a great move by him. It showed a lot of balls, and it could be a big reason why if Boston gets out of this series is because he's putting his balls in the line.
Yeah, it's a great point by you too, Monty. We talked about on Wednesday about Monty calling him out, and he's pushed all the right buttons. So, Chucky, I love you. Pasta, respect. 1-1 going back to TD Bank Garden, and that series is just getting going. But I loved everything about it. And Monty and Paul Maurice, both their press conferences.
Absolutely.
Those are two guys you want to play for.
Yep.
Game 1.
Oh, man. Game 1.
We talked about the atmosphere. Listen, I'll be honest.
I get Skinner a pair of these eye
he might eat them. When it went to 4-1, when Hyman got that squeaker, I looked at you and I was like, I'll be honest, I thought it was over. JT Miller, man, what a tip. His energy brought back. The big man Zadorov played unbelievable. My boy Dakota Joshua, that I said before the playoffs started, that he's going to be a huge, huge impact. There's only one game uppy, but a huge win for the Canucks. And the fact that McDavid got held shotless, he was skating so fast out there. I figured he had 10 shots on that, but it was a big win for the Canucks.
Yeah, it was a big win. It was a big comeback win. It was a ballsy win. In moments like this in the playoffs, these guys, they're going to have moments where you're like, fuck, he gets exposed. He gets caught out on the ice, and, it's Miller, Pettersson, Hughes, and you're like, okay, that's not the matchup you want. But moments like last night, he comes in, he turns up into the zone, he has a nice drop pass. All of a sudden, it's fucking boom. I forget who the pass was.
You made a great point. You're like, I want to play by Ryan. You're like, typically he just dumps that puck.
He typically dumps it.
Yeah,
and he turns back drops it.
Anticipating that it was going to get dumped in, and he did a tight turn and slid it back to
Ekholm. Ekholm came in, right? Bombed it. It's a deflection. It's a screen. It's whatever. You're counted on to make big saves in big moments. I'm sure what was said in Edmonton's room after the game last night was, listen, boys, we played 54 minutes of hockey tonight and outplayed these guys, and they came back. We got to put this one fucking in the garbage.
Park it.
We got to put it in the garbage. Yeah. Let's go have a beer at the hotel with the boys. Let's fucking shoot around. Let's fucking maybe play some cards. Let's fire in a chew. Let's hang out.
Last but not least, it's milk card time. And maybe I'm in no position to put this guy in the milk card because he's got way better numbers than me. He's making way more than ever me. But I'm going to put Charlie McAvoy in the milk card for the Boston Bruins. I turned out and learned a lot about his reads. Charlie McAvoy, to me, is maybe some of the worst reads I've seen. Sometimes he tries to do too much. I would say if I'm running that back end, less is more. Stay inside the dots, clear the front of that. But Charlie McAvoy, fella, I'm sure you're a beauty. I got to put you up at milk card because I just think his hockey IQ at times up dog is not great, and I didn't think he was great in game 2. Leave it a bounce back, but it's my podcast. I'll put it up.
Yeah, as you should.
Yeah. And then last but not least, up there on the cross check. This is one from our boy Kyle. Kyle wanted to put this on there. Bessie hated it. Steve Levy hated it. Brandon Moore hated it. Yeah. Brady Shea comes out on our boy Troshi and it pushes him on the hips and kind of like that.
I didn't love it either.
No, I didn't love it either.
I didn't love it either.
If you ask me, I think the ref made a split decision on thinking it was Kelly solid. Right at the beginning of it, it looked like it was going to. And then as Troche falls, I think you see the New York Ranger come over to get the puck. So therefore, there really wasn't a big play. It was in the offensive zone. It's not perfect. To me, the refs have been great.
They have been.
They have been great. There was question calls in that game.
That was one of the worst I've seen.
Last night there was I saw it this morning. I missed it last night because we were so close. Vinny, your boy Desjardins, little love tap on Besser. Besser flops, falls to the ground. Let's just stand, boys. Hey, playoff. Let's hear your feet call.
Updog called
Let's stand your feet.
Updog called out the embellishment the last couple of weeks of Missin Curfew. I think players are listening, the refs are listening because I've seen some more embellishment calls. Can't be that.
Playoffs are us too. It's playoffs. Stand your feet.
And I will say this: as much as I hate the cross-check call on Troche, the Hurricanes had 2 power play opportunities in overtime, and the Rangers probably killed that.
Hey, boys, go Rangers players. Look at the Rangers PK right now. They made Sebastian Aubel. They slaughtered him. They didn't allow any shots. They kept him in the corner. He wasn't able to join in. They pushed him. It's an incredible PK. Me and my boy Brodziak be out there fucking, straight-legged it. These guys were.
Oh, but big pressure.
I know, it was great. Clubbing forwards, patience, staying in the lane.
Yeah.
Sticks.
If you give me time and space, I can pick a play.
So that.
Coaches.
Greener, you need coaches there in Ottawa.
Let us know if you want us to run the back end. Updog did the
PK, I did the PK.
Updog, we got an absolute beauty. The big tuna, spicy tuna, whatever you want to call him, he's a beauty. Liam O'Brien coming at you right now, fellas.
Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Updog, a guy that I obviously love for many reasons. One, his last name.
And his nickname.
Yeah, right. And spicy tuna, crispy rice, spicy tuna. But just the way he's played the game over the years, we've watched him. I've wanted to get him on. So Liam O'Brien, buddy, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us at Missin Curfew. We love the way you play the game, fella.
Hey, thanks for having me on, boys. Big fan of the show, so good privilege.
Yeah, hey, so you just said before we got on here, you're about to become a dad, right? And my boy right here, 2 kids.
Life-changing.
If anyone can do it, Spicy Tuna. If Updog can do it, anyone can do it. He's the dad of the year, man. He's the dad of the year.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. We're 3 weeks out today. My wife's ready to get it out of her, so we're pumped. Little girl too, so excited for that.
Yeah, enjoy the home stretch here, bud, because I'm sure you will. I'm sure your wife, like you said, is ready just to be done with it. But when the little baby comes out, man, it's like the biggest, it's the biggest experience of joy that you'll ever experience with your wife. And personally, you're just looking at this little thing and going, holy shit, this is real. And this thing is now mine. Like it's like getting a new set of golf clubs or something.
Right?
It's like, wow, look at
a new set of golf clubs.
Look at how awesome this is. I'm gonna be able to hang with this guy and hit these clubs. Like, it's gonna be great.
The last 3 weeks, are you is the anticipation just, and you can go back to when you had it, but are you trying to enjoy your last 3 weeks without having a kid, or are you just so focused that you only have 3 weeks left that you're getting ready for what's coming? Or are you like, I better go, on a boys trip here because I only got 3 weeks left?
Well, I'll actually turn this to you, Spicy Tuna, because you timed this pretty good. I don't know if you didn't know you're making the playoffs, but the fact that you got just a little 3-week bender here before the baby, because when time comes, it's rock and roll for dad mode. You got to kind of, there's not a lot you can do when the baby's that little, but you want to be there for full support. So I'd say get in the partying and the golfing right now, bud. That would be my personal experience.
Yeah, my wife's been good. We were in Vegas last weekend, so she's been good. She's let me kind of do my thing here the last little bit, so just get it all over the system.
Yeah. Hey, Spicy Tuna, let's talk about the way you play the game, buddy. And I got your numbers up here from, when you played the Q to your Hershey Bear. I used to hate playing in Hershey. I hate that fucking
they got
barn.
One of my
fans were always all over.
They got one of my Calder Cups too.
Yeah, they beat
us
me
in 6. Fuck.
Tough barn to play in. But listen, you've always played the game with lots of energy and physicality, and with the game changing the way it's changed the last couple of years, did it ever discourage you, or that's just the way you played the game and you knew you were going to make the NHL, being Liam O'Brien?
Even when I was young, I always just kind of was that guy running around. Always wanted to throw a big hit. It's kind of something I always, going to a game, I always want to think about, who am I going to run over here? Right. And, so I think even since decking started, and I think we started in Adam back home, It's always kind of been a part of my game. I love the physicality of the game. I love, kind of that emotional side of the game. And that's what makes me love the game so much.
Yeah, no, you can tell you enjoy that and it comes naturally to you. And, since I've had this podcast with Updog, I've had a lot of my former guys that I've played with and played against. And, we brought up fighting and, a guy, Brian McGrattan, who I thought loved fighting. Like, I was like Big Earns licking his chops to get out there. He said on this podcast that he didn't really love it. So when it comes to fighting for you, because you embrace it, you'll fight anyone. Do you love it? Do you do it for your teammates? Or what's your thought when it comes to having to drop the gloves? Because, Spicy Tuna, it's not as much fun as everyone thinks, and unless you win the fight, then it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's times where I love it. There really is. There's times where I'm like so ready to just, go out there and just duck them. And obviously, I'm sure you've experienced that feeling too, where there's a night where you're just kind of like, I don't know. Or But I think for me, it's a good challenge. I have to find it within myself because I know it's my role. I know that my teammates look to me to be ready for that moment. So it's a good challenge for myself, and it's I think it's a great feeling when you, after the fight, especially in that fight, that you're like, I didn't really want that one, but you got through it, and you're like, all right, we're good, and I feel good now, and I'm glad I was through that moment. So fighting, you see it matters in this game, and you see it in playoffs too. You see these guys running around, and it's a big part of the game, and I'm happy to keep doing it.
Yeah. No, it's nice when you get over a fight where you didn't really want to go and the guy was maybe a little tougher than you. You get to the box, like, all right, nose is all right. We're all right here, boys. Okay, let's go now.
Tuna, I wanted to ask you, the season's over for you. You're kind of going into the summer. Are you like a guy that looks back on the season and kind of takes moments, whether it's big goals or some of your big fights, and kind of look back on that and be like, okay, I can refresh my mind. I can focus on the summer, let the body heal, and kind of look back on those on those moments. And if so, what are some of those moments this year, being the last year at Mullett, but that you look back on?
Yeah, I usually don't look back too much. I'm always kind of just looking forward, but definitely, that last game at Mullett was a really emotional game, I think, for everybody. I've been here 3 years. We've got some guys that played in Arizona for 7 or 8 years, and I know how much this area means to them and the fans, and obviously the organization had been through a lot, top to bottom, everybody. So it was a really emotional game, and I think being able to score in that game for me, that was a fun moment, a good feel-good moment.
Yeah, awesome. You came out of the gates buzzing that night. I'm like, the Tuna had a good pregame meal, a good bite to eat. He's just got the high step to go. He buried one. I'm like, I had the over too. I was like, that a boy, Spicy Tuna. Way to get the boys going on the over here. Let's go.
I was leading into that because that was such a monumental thing, and it's something we wanted to talk about just as an experience for a player, right? We had Nasher. Nasher chatted with us about the experience as an employee, as a play-by-play guy, but truly bring us into showing up to the rink, understanding that, this could be the last game, maybe ever, or hopefully not, but maybe ever, and that, next year is going to be just something completely different. But talk about that, to go into war with your boys, knowing that was the case.
Yeah. I mean, when Bear kind of came in the room before the game and got us going, and just kind of reiterated, how important this game was, not just for us as a group, but also the fan base. They don't know whether or not they're going to have a team again, right? And, people always say, oh, there's nobody going to game. It's all shit. And we've got fans that they're diehard fans. The amount of love that I've gotten, on my socials and stuff like that from people, been unbelievable. So there's so many people that are upset that the team, isn't going to be here anymore, and so many good people that were coming to the games and supporting the team. So, I mean, it was one of those games. I'm just glad we won.
Yeah,
I'm glad we won, and we got to celebrate. They let us celebrate with the fans. A lot of people stuck around. We were able to sign stuff for them, meet them, take pictures with them. things like that. I thought the guys did a really good job.
I just wanted to ask you, I love the way you play the game, and I love the way you bring the energy, and I've often wondered, like, what do you like before the game? Are you like my old boy Trevor Gillies, where you got the heavy metal going, or like what? Talk me into like your pregame and then during the game in the room. Are you a vocal guy, or do you lead by example on the ice, or what do you like in the room?
I heard some crazy stories about that Gillies.
Oh, Gillies is a maniac, man. Maniac.
He was in when I was in Hershey, he was in the East Coast with the Carolina Stingrays, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And so guys would get called up, and the stories they would come up with about this guy were unbelievable.
Dude,
just like him like in the mirror, flexing, looking at himself, calling himself sexy, like in warm-ups, no stick.
Oh, yeah.
Just crazy stories.
Shadow boxing, screaming like, what was the band he used to love? It was
he like rubbing the icy hot on his balls?
Oh, he put icy hot everywhere. He had this jacket on. He'd be shadow boxing, screaming this music. It was a scene before the game. I'm like, boys, go check the Gills train out in there right now. What he's doing, like, it was next level. I love that man. He was a warrior. But I wish I would have videotaped his pregame routine so I could now have it to show, because it was next level.
For sure, it would jack me right up.
Yeah. But what kind of teammate are you? Are you vocal, or what? Because you seem like you might be a vocal guy, which I was. So I was just curious.
I'm vocal. Yeah, I'm pretty vocal. I like to, get the guys going, and I'm not like, I wouldn't say I'm over the top. Like, I think I pick my spots. I try to stay as calm as possible, because sometimes I get a little too wound up. When I get too wound up, then I go out there and, maybe fucking take a penalty or something. So I'm like, all right, I gotta fucking relax here, right?
Let me ask you a little bit about, like, so year-end meetings. This we talked about it earlier, but we all go through year-end meetings, right? You've been through a bunch of them.
A lot of Visine for those year-end meetings. Yeah, I get a lot of Visine. Just like, okay, here we go. Let's get through this.
So was this year like you guys all going off in the summer, and want to talk to you a little bit about what it was like to fly into Utah? But like, what's everyone thinking leaving there? Are you like, fucking okay? We got to get realtors, pack up our pads. Everyone, we're going to share the same truck, ship our gear. Are the coaches just like, guys, there's just so much going on. Just go enjoy yourselves. What was that like year-end meetings for you boys?
Yeah, well, we already knew. We were told that we would be flying to Utah the following week. So it was interesting, because usually you have your year-end meetings and then you're like, well, I might not see you guys again, but it's like, oh no, we're going to be on a bird going to Utah next Wednesday. So yeah, it was a little bit different. We had like a group of us had like a Vegas trip booked, all of us, 12 other guys. So we were like, all right, well, we're going to go do that, come back, and then, we're going to get all the information when we get to Utah. And so, we ended up, jumping on that bird and going to Utah and checking everything out, and it was pretty cool.
Tuna, I want to ask you about the Mullett fella. We never made it. We never made it to the Mullett. When you guys first went in there, we just heard ASU. We're like, fuck up, we got to get there. But, Updog's got 2 kids. We're trying to run a business. Anyways, we didn't make it there. But looking back as an ex-NHL, I tried to put myself in that dressing room. Like, did you guys embrace it? Were you embarrassed about it? Like, what was it like with you guys being like, okay, this is our home? Because it was fun to watch you guys in there, but then I would be like, these guys are NHL guys. They deserve a real rink kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, as players, obviously you want to play in an NHL rink. There's no question. But we all knew the situation, so we just embraced it. We had fun with it. We had a really good home record too. Yeah. We always played well at home. So I know guys didn't really have that much of a problem with it. It was just like we were winning and we're having fun there. We're making the best of it. And you're in Arizona, nice weather out. You're warming up outside on the turf. Like it was good. Like there was a lot of fun moments in that rink.
Yeah, I just saw one thing online. You were doing a jersey swap with somebody at the mall, and it looked like you guys were in like a tented area. I'm like, fuck, that's classy gesture by the Tuna there, but like you're down in like a tented area. I'm like, that's not National League. That's not National League there.
That was our tent from our room to the rink. Because our room was separate from the rink, so we would have to walk through that. We'd walk out through that, down through that tent, and then into the rink.
Yeah,
that's insane. Did fighting in there feel like junior hockey to you, like at all? And like, if you ever did, you feel like the opponents coming into play, like how were they acting too? Were the guys that you like sized up, were they like, fuck, we're here in a junior rink, let's save this for MSG or something? Or was it just like, did you feel like the energy was always there for you?
Yeah, no, the energy was always there.
Yeah, good.
You always felt like people were on top of you. So when you fought, it wasn't that. It just didn't feel. It felt pretty good, actually. It was actually a fun place to fight. I enjoyed fighting in there.
Yeah, no, listen. I played a lot of snoozers in Glendale. A lot of hungover snoozers against this guy. And I watched you guys. I'm like, I would have rather played in the Mullett, especially in, because there's nothing worse than playing in a big barn with nobody there. Like, we used to go into Florida and Columbus. You're like, at least with Mullett, it's like, we got some energy in your boys. And you guys could tell from your home record that that's what it did for you fellas.
Yeah, I enjoyed playing there.
Yeah,
to be honest, I really did. Yeah.
You'd enjoy playing it. You enjoy playing anywhere. You're like, I'll play anywhere, boys. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll play anywhere. But I liked it. I had no problem with it. The ice was unbelievable. Like, we had great ice in that rink, and yeah, I mean, like you just said, I'll fucking play.
Yeah, that's why I love. That's why I love you, fella. But good ice, you feel a little faster. You're like, oh, I got a little step in me tonight here. Let's go.
Good glide.
Hey, I want to ask you about a guy that's been there forever. Stan Wilson, your head trainer. When I've had him there, Donor had him there. Donor fucking had him look over all of his horses on the ranch. I don't know. Had you ever been out to ride horses with Stan before? Did he ever take you out to ride horses with him?
I haven't, no.
So I almost killed myself one time. Yeah. I had an allergic reaction. I now know I'm allergic to horses, but I was way the fuck out there in North Scottsdale with him on these horses when I had to take a quick Yui and go back to get a shot in the ass. No, but anyway, talk a little bit about, a guy like that who's been there forever, and then for you guys to, understand that a guy like Stan, whether he's done or not, I don't know, but he'd move his whole life to Utah if that's the case or whatever. And I guess, what is it like to know that some of these employees that you go and you see every day and they've given their lives for it? What's it like to know that their lives are now completely changed?
Yeah, we had. You worked with most of these guys; they're unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
Dano, what a guy! What a human being! Just such a good attitude every day at the rink. A family man too. I think for him it's hard because he's got grandkids, and they were always at the rinks, and he wants to go watch them play and grow and watch them as players, and so I don't think he's done though.
Good. I hope he knows in Utah. There's some ranches in Utah.
So
yeah,
we'll see.
These horses might like fucking. These horses might like.
Yeah, we'll see.
No, he's one of the best.
Dan
was one of the best. Yeah, he is. Absolutely.
That's the trainer, right? Where all the boys went over to hug him at the end of the game?
Yeah.
You could see how much he meant to you guys.
Fuck yeah.
The boys.
Great man.
Yeah. The trainers are the best. Frosty and the boys are the best. They're the best. I got to ask you, Big Tuna, before we move on to Utah, where you made a hell of a little first impression, but I was proud of you. How was the year-end bender? I've always, if you're leaving, I can't imagine if, there were some year-end benders that I knew I was leaving the town, but the team was still staying. I knew I was done. But, when you're like, boys, this is our last year-end bender for maybe 5 years until the team comes back. Was it let's really give her, or was it what was it like the last year-end bender for the Coyotes?
We knew we were going to Utah the following week, right? So we just I wouldn't say it was. We got a bird. We went to Vegas. Did a couple nights in Vegas. Loud Luxury was nice stuff. They brought us up on stage and stuff, and that was a blast. So. Yeah, it was, Vegas is always a good time.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, no one get arrested here, because it wouldn't be a good impression if we go to Utah next week.
Yeah, that's right.
Someone's in the
fuck, he can't be there. He's stuck in Vegas.
We're really trying to just say, let's nobody get in trouble.
Yeah, our summer doesn't start till next Thursday when we get back from Utah.
Yeah.
So.
I will say this, Vegas is fun, but it's way more fun when you're at the end of an NHL year with your boys and you got the fine fund in your pocket. That is when Vegas is next level. Hey, you're like, all right, boys, let's go.
And
let's
go. To that, how much money was on the board for the last game? Was there, did the boys step up? Kells had to step up and say,
everybody was up.
See, and you win that one, and you're like, there we go, that's the bird.
No, we had a good chunk of change there for Vegas too, which was That's always like Golden's like you just said. It was like perfect.
Yeah, right. Tuna, let's talk about Utah now, and obviously I loved what you did in front of the fans there. But I guess if you and I've watched you guys play the last couple of years, I love the pieces you guys have. You talked about Clayton Keller, but I mean Lawson Krause, I love your game. Nick Schmaltz, I love. Connor Ingram's came between the pipe. I guess to Utah fans out there, what kind of team can they expect next year of you guys coming in here? Because they're getting a good hockey club, in my opinion.
Tons of skill.
Yeah.
So much skill.
Tons of skill.
You got these young kids, right? Like you got Gunther and you've got Fools, and now you've got Doan. These three guys, they're players and tons of skill, right? And then you got those veteran guys. You got Charles and Schmaltzy. Bukestad is another guy. He's been so good for us. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a super talented team, and the guys want to play the right way. They want to do the right things, the little things, and you're gonna get it. We're gonna win next year. I think we're gonna win, and I really want to be a part of that group. So
yeah, no, you guys are
see what happens here going forward.
Tuna, you guys are close, man. You're right there. You had stretches this year where you look like a playoff team, and everything you guys were dealing with off the ice. Say what you want. We weren't thinking about it. Like everyone's thinking about it. You're playing in Mullett Arena. You're like, are we getting a new barn or are we not? What's going on? You're having a kid. It's like, Jesus, let's figure this out here, boys. All right. But I want to talk to you about your head coach. I'm not going to say his name because I'm going to butcher it. What do you guys call him? Bear?
Oh, that's easy.
Bear, perfect. I won't screw up Bear. But listen, I don't know him personally, but I love him. He seems like your type of coach. But everything he's done with that team, I think he's the right man for the job, in my opinion, from a guy who's watched you guys play quite a bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think he knows how to work with each guy individually. Like he knows how to get the best out of you too. And I think he's done that with a lot of our top guys too. Like I think he's, he gives them some leash and stuff like that, but he's like, he wants them to, do the right things and lead the right way. And he keeps everybody accountable. And that's one thing I respect about him is, it doesn't matter who you are, he keeps you accountable. And he's an easy guy. He's an easy guy to run through the walls for, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was exactly what Nasher said, right? That the guys like him.
It seems like a guy's guy.
Liam, let me just ask you, to the hockey world, they obviously know this new Utah owner, Ryan Smith, is a guy. He's young. He's successful. He wants to bring deep pockets. Hey, he wants to bring a great quality squad with good people to Utah, right? And that he's got the fan base there. And what can you share with us on the experience of going in and meeting him and seeing the team that they have and his whole vision and product? What could you share with us on what that experience was like last week?
What I liked most was, Ryan sat us down and he asked us, like, hey, guys, like, what do you need? Like, what needs to change? What needs to get better? We were at Scottsdale National. He took us out to Scottsdale National, and after the round, he just sat us all down, and he's like, all right, like, thing after thing after thing, like, hotels, travel, food, everything. Like, what needs to be better? What needs to change? What can I do, to help the process of you guys? Also, your families and everything, moving your lives from Scottsdale to Utah, right? So, yeah, the whole trip, too, was just so smooth from start to finish. We get off the plane and there's, 700, 800 people there waiting for you with signs. Then you're jumping in the Land Rovers and you're heading to the hotel. Then you're getting a clap walking into the hotel. You're just like, what? Like, where are we right now? Yeah, top to bottom, just he owns an NBA team, right? So I just think, he's got a good idea of how things work and how things should be, and the guys are excited about that.
It's like Successions, off the plane, in the helicopter, in the SUV, right? And you're like, oh, this is all right. But seriously, Tuna, like, that's got to feel good for you guys, right? Like, and listen, we all love Scottsdale. We all love it. We all want the Coyotes to come back there. It sucks that they moved. But for you guys that have been going through this with everything that you've gone through, to go to a place where you're wanted and the owner's young and hungry and the fans are hungry, like, you boys deserve this. And was that kind of the feel coming back? Like, hey, boys, that was kind of cool. Like,
yeah. what was the most amazing was when we were at the rink. They only had, I think, maybe 10 days to get all this stuff figured out, and the fact that there was, I don't know, I think there was maybe like 20,000 people, including the people that were outside of the rink that weren't able to actually get in the rink. There's 20,000 people there waiting just for us to get on the stage and for us to introduce ourselves and for Ryan and his talk and just trying to explain everything. It was incredible, the fan base already. So, and it was loud in there. It is a loud arena. So I can't imagine getting in a fight in there has to be a pretty good time. So yeah, just a really cool experience overall.
Yeah, Jazz.
I couldn't. No, good things to say.
Yeah, Utah fans are the best. Jazz fans, especially back in the day, if you go back to Jordan's era, when they would come in there, these people would have
Mailman below.
Yeah, MJ wouldn't let his kids go to the games because these fans in Utah were going fuck titty. But even now, when you watch Utah Jazz basketball games, I know it'll be a different demographic. I think even Ryan said that there's only been 400 season tickets people sign up that are Jazz season tickets holders, so it's going to be a whole different fan base. But what I'm saying is Utah's growing. Park City, Tuna, which you'll love when you get some time to go up there and spend it with your family and your newborn, whenever that time is. But Utah and Salt Lake's growing, and they have passionate fans there, man. Once you guys get rocking, and they're going to love the way you play, that place will be going nuts.
Yeah, I've actually been to Park City. Okay. I went to golf Glen Wild with Cal Lou that went there for a UFC. Forget which one it was, but it was Poirier Gaethje, where Gaethje got him with the head kick. We were able to see that. Nice. And so just listening to the barn explode after that, I was like, wow, okay, this place is a,
yeah.
Would be.
You're like, oh, they like violence. I got a chance here. They like violence. I got a chance.
Yeah, I listened to Ryan speak on Pat McAfee last week, and what I took out of it was he's just a cool guy. He's cool. He could play hockey. He's that kind of cool. I put us up there. But what he did say is he's investing not in just this franchise, but in the people that are coming with the franchise, right? The players and the people around the team and stuff. And that to me, those words go such a long way in our tight-knit community, our boys club of NHLers and past NHLers, to hear an owner say these people are good people and I'm investing in them. They're coming here. I got a good young team and I'm going to change and I'm going to take out all the noise for these guys and let them play hockey. And that to me was fuck, this team can run next year. Look at what Vegas did that year. This could be a team that just fucking goes. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I think you guys got a good setup.
Definitely. Yeah, he came in the first time we met him. He came in, he had a hoodie on. We're like, wow, this guy's, he's a pretty chill dude. And he sits down, grabs the chair, sits down. He goes, well, I bought you guys. This is what I bought. I have you guys. He's like, all right, let's put it all together and let's take something special happen. So, yeah, pretty cool.
No, and the only thing you might not have the old Tempe flu that you guys had this year at the Mullett. I don't know if teams are going to come in and Salt Lake's going to be like, all right, let's have our rookie party.
If you play on a Sunday.
Yeah, you might get some more fresh teams coming into Salt Lake, eh? But you got boys ready to go. The Oilers, they don't look like they're hungover from fucking Old Town, eh?
No, that's a lie. They could have ski legs.
Maybe they have ski legs
2 days early and they all fucking go hit the slopes all day, and then a couple guys come down the mountain a little too fast.
David up at the old double black diamonds up in Park City, eh? He's like,
yeah, but I forget what yeah, I don't see. I mean, Park City's kind of outside of the city, though. I mean, we were just there. I'd say it's probably a 30-40 minute drive.
So there used to be an American League team, Tuna, in Salt Lake, the Utah Grizzlies, they were called. That was when I was in the jungle when I was young, and I just remember
point night.
I think last call in Utah is 1 o'clock. Right? I remember I was at the bar and they're like, "We're done here." I'm like, "Whoa, what do you mean? Is that true? Is last call 1 o'clock there? Have you gotten that far into the city yet, or what's going on?"
Unfortunately, I haven't gotten that far into the city yet, but I don't know. When we were in Utah for UFC, we were in Park City. I don't remember what time we left, but I think it was past 1. I don't think it was earlier than 1. It might have been 1, but
yeah.
I mean, it was. Everyone kind of goes on about all these rules that they have and stuff like that. From my experience, it doesn't feel too much different than anywhere else.
I could have used a few more rules. I should have been in Utah. I would have probably
I tell you
more
what.
years of my career if I would have been there.
I tell you what, I'm sure Ryan knows someone there. Maybe there'll be some legislation passed because the hockey team's coming to town, right? You can't have 1 o'clock curfew. There's no chance this 1 o'clock bar rule is going to stand.
Ryan needs to get one bar in Salt Lake that stays open to 4 just for hockey guys.
for the
When they
guys,
come in like, hey, boys, stay here till 4. You guys, whatever you need. They come to the rink next day. Thin air. They're like, holy jeez, boys. Hey, Big Tuna, buddy, thank you so much, buddy. We're a big fan of you. Good luck with the new baby, my man, and enjoy your offseason. Can't wait to see you snap around in Utah, buddy. You're good for the game. Keep playing your game, my man.